All right. So, first game, we've got Netherlands, United States. Realistically, you should probably pick Netherlands, but I'm going US. So, like we talked about, Netherlands normally high flying, a lot of goals, but they're just not that team anymore. So they don't really scare me from the perspective of they're going to shove it down our throats. And as we'll get into with the in-depth U.S. preview, I do worry about our center backs a little bit, but don't really think Netherlands is that much of a threat to score on us. And just looking at talent, I mean, we're probably more talented than them in the attacking portion of the game. So I'm going to pick the U.S. here, and what will probably be will certainly be considered a little bit of an upset.
Incredible patriotism on your part, and I look forward to owning the Netherlands. All right, the next match will be Argentina and France.
All right, so you see what happens here when you don't win your group. So France was the favorite to win that group, but if you don't win the group, you get paired up with a team that did, and that team could be really good, like Argentina. So, it's not as simple as top two teams advance. That's all that matters. You really need to be trying to win your group. And that would be an example with us because you'll see in a minute, England's getting to play Qatar in my bracket. So it is valuable to win your group. This is why Argentina, France, I've got to go Argentina. A rematch, this is an exact rematch of this stage of the World Cup last time, I guess, when we talked about the very entertaining France-Argentina game. Well, this time Argentina will be able to defend. Like we said, France is going to be weak in that midfield, and that's very important. And Lionel Messi, let me take this opportunity to talk about him a minute. Somehow I didn't really talk about him that much. His last World Cup, he has never, I'll think of a football or basketball reference in a minute, but he has never really done anything with his national team. Like I said, he's the greatest player of all time. He's won every club trophy with Barcelona that you could possibly win. But he's with the national team, they've just been very disappointed. They've never a player that great to have never won a World Cup. They just now won their first Copa America ever this past tournament. So maybe that got him over the hump. But what's this? Is like Dan Marino or something? What's the comp for you to like never have won the biggest trophy?
First one that came to mind that made me almost jump out of my seat and cheer because I'm happy he hasn't won anything. Chris Paul.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Another
Messi's
small guy. I just hate Chris Paul. But yeah, Marino would be another good one. But
yeah. So in Argentina, Diego Maradona, of course, everybody would know him. A lot of Argentine people will tell you he's the greatest Argentine player of all time because he did win a World Cup. Very similar to player to Messi, short, left-footed, great dribbler. But Messi's clearly better. There's no question. But you've got a guy that willed his team to a World Cup victory, and then Messi, who I want to say through no fault of his own, has never won a World Cup, but he is notably absent in a lot of these games. Not like he's on the field, but he's not doing a whole lot. Like he's not scoring goals. He's not getting coked up like Maradona and, fighting and taking the team to victory himself. So this is Messi's last opportunity to win the World Cup. And, I'm pulling for him to do it. So I think Argentina goes through here.
All right. Next up, we've got Spain and Canada.
All right. Got to go Spain. Canada's going to be tough to play against. We talked about all that attacking power that Spain has. Canada's not going to be giving up multiple goals here. Probably they're too good defensively, but Spain is just they're going to be knocking on the door too many times not to get through eventually. So Spain definitely goes through here.
And then Brazil and Uruguay.
So South American rivalry battle right out of the gate here. That's a lot of fun to see. It's going to be tough because Uruguay's, tough physical team. They're solid, but Brazil's just got too much. and this is a weaker Uruguay team, just talent wise, than you normally would see. So I think Brazil definitely goes through.
Then on the other side of the bracket, as you mentioned, England and Qatar.
Yeah, England, no question here. The home crowd will be going insane for Qatar here if they make it to the knockout stages. This would be very similar to what England did in the last World Cup. That World Cup was in Russia. And if you recall, England had to play Russia in the knockout stages. So they were able to go into the hostile environment and win that game. It was very tough, though, even though they're 10 times more talented than Russia. Just that home field environment matters. So, it might not be easy, but I would definitely go with England to roll through here.
Then we have Denmark and Mexico.
So we talked about how Mexico always overperforms in the World Cup, at least from my perspective. They usually knock somebody good out. I remember a couple World Cups ago, they beat the Netherlands. That was back when it was a real Netherlands team. We had Iron Robin, one of the best players in the world. And Mexico still beat them, huge underdog. But I'm going to pick Denmark. I think they're just the talent levels of the two teams might be fairly similar, but Denmark is. I think they've just shown they're good in these tournaments. They're, and like I said, from the Euros, they've got a great momentum going, and they got their best player back, Christian Eriksen. So I'm going to go Denmark.
Then we've got Belgium and Germany.
That is a great matchup of teams with the same flag, just rotated.
I was thinking, are these two different countries, or I don't know?
So, and this would be a good battle of veterans versus youth too. Belgium with all the household names, but they're all old. Germany with less of the household names, but they're all super talented, up and coming players. Normally in that scenario, I go with the younger team, but I'm going to go with Belgium. Probably heart as much as anything. I like a lot of these players. I want to see them make a good run, and this is your last chance to get to see them. So I'm gonna go with Belgium against my better judgment.
And then Portugal and Switzerland.
Well, Portugal's got more talent, but like we said, Switzerland is just rock solid in these tournaments. Like we said, in the Nations League, which is not quite the Euros, but it's another tournament of national teams that they play to make money, I guess, get people to watch the television. And Switzerland beat Portugal in this. So I think you got to go Switzerland, even though they're less talented. I think they're just they're just too good in these tournaments.
All right, going back to the other side, that means we've got the US of A versus Argentina. Are we going to keep this Cinderella run going? Yeah. Not that much patriotism.
What does the wagon turn into a pumpkin, or the slipper falls off, or what happens?
The pumpkin. Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever's going to happen, unfortunately, happens here. That was some good ass analysis. Whatever happens, is
that was really good. I think the slipper turns into a pumpkin, and then you can only wear it on whichever foot you are, unless you're ambipedal.
Yeah. Okay. So Argentina is just too good. So if you'll recall, the last World Cup that the U.S. played in, which wasn't the last World Cup, unfortunately, we made it through the groups. And then we ran into that Belgium team that was in their heyday back then. And we went to extra time. We played them down to the wire. But if you really see what happened in that game, Tim Howard had the best performance of all time by a keeper. He had 20-something saves, which is just bananas. They should have beat us 8-0, and somehow it went to extra time. I don't think it'll be that. I don't think we'll get dominated quite that bad because we're a lot more talented now than we were, but this U.S. back line with Messi and Lautaro Martinez and all those Argentine players running at it, and then the back line for them, we can't score as it is. against Saudi Arabia and Japan. We ain't going to score against this Argentine back line. So Argentina has to go through here.
All right, Spain and Brazil.
So now this is the toughest one thus far. And I don't know if your bracket says it. This is at Education City Stadium. Do you see that?
No, because I wrote it all down. So I didn't write that part down.
Jot down Education City Stadium. That's so weird. Okay, let me take a drink and think about this.
Yeah, because Education City. I wish I had some facts about Education City, but I don't. I'm sorry.
So, as good as I think Spain looked in the Euros, they did get beat in the Euros. And there wasn't any teams in the Euros as good as Brazil is. So I think it will be if this happens, this will be one of the best games at the whole tournament. Brazil is they're so fun to watch, so flashy. And like I said, they've got the rock solid defense and midfield to go with it. So both of these teams, it'll be a heavyweight, Tommy Hearns and marvelous Marvin Hagler, just beating the shit out of each other, top fight. Like there'll be a lot of action in this game for sure. But I just think Brazil is too solid all over the field at too many positions. So I'd have to lean Brazil in a close one here.
So I looked up a bracket to see the stadiums. That would be one of two stadium names I could pronounce. The other one is 974 Stadium.
974. Okay, yeah. That was where Brazil and Uruguay played. I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. Then we've got England and Denmark.
So rematch of the Euros, Euro semifinals last year. This game went to extra time. I'm doing all this shit off my head here, man.
That's impressive.
And I had a newborn baby when I was watching that shit too.
Sounds like you went to Education City Stadium and learned some things.
So England won that game, but it was 1-1, went to extra time, didn't make it to penalties because England scored a very late goal to make it 2-1. This will be another just coin toss down to the wire game. England is clearly the more talented side, but Denmark is just so well drilled. I'm going to go Denmark to get revenge here. And I know England's busting out of this thing at some point in a blaze of glory, or a blaze of inglory. So might as well be now. So let's go ahead and go with Denmark.
Sorry to the goofy-faced and bodied Harry Kane, Belgium and Switzerland.
So, again, Switzerland's so good in these tournaments, but I'm going to keep riding Belgium. Those, again, against my better judgment here, the names on that roster are just too good. Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, they're all old and infirmed, but there's just too many impressive names on that team. I'm going to have to take them.
All right. Then we've got in the final four, if my handwritten bracket is correct, Argentina and Brazil.
What a matchup. So this is the biggest rivalry in the world here. I mean, there's not enough you can say about this game, but to keep it simple, I'm going to pick Argentina. They played in the Copa America final just about a year ago, and Brazil was favored, but Argentina, with that rock solid defense, was able to win 1-0. Angel Di Maria, who we didn't mention earlier, but he's like in his mid 30s, but he's an all-time great Argentine player. I think somebody was hurt and he got to start that game against Brazil, and he scored a goal early, and Argentina just held on for dear life to win 1-0. So, this late in the tournament, the defenses are going to lock in. Teams aren't going to be taking as many risks. So I'm going to lean toward Argentina with that rock solid defense to squeak out another 1-0 victory here.
And then Denmark and Belgium.
So I said earlier I'm going to put a little money on Belgium. Uh, I'm going to put even more now because the way this bracket's worked out, this is the easier side for sure. They've got an easy path here. You know, very very winnable game here against Denmark. I'm going to lean Belgium. They've just got great players. They're old. Denmark's got the momentum, but I'm going to lean toward the better players. I'm going to go Belgium.
And that means the final is between Belgium and Argentina. Who wins it all?
Argentina. So that also this is my first time going through the bracket. So I'm definitely seeing that Argentina makes sense. I knew they'd pair it with Brazil at some point, and I do like them to be able to squeak that one by. And then Belgium, like I said, the easy-ish run to get to the final. But yeah, they run into too good of a team here in Argentina. And I think Messi finally gets his World Cup. So
there we go. No longer Chris Paul.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a story. I just picked the two oldest damn teams. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Argentina. I feel good about that. The Belgium making it all the way. I'm not sure how that happened, but
boom. All right. There you have it. So stay tuned. We're going to have the American team preview in depth. This is all you need if you're looking to gamble, maybe not gamble. I don't know. Just watch. It's perfect. We did it. We'll see what the American preview looks like after I get more of this alcohol in me. But thank you for joining us.